Can we check USDCHF?
I mean, we can, but I'm just putting a warning. I haven't looked at that pair in a very long time, so it's going to be hard to give you. Well, we can look at it, but what are you saying?
Now, the reason why I'm asking is because I'm trying to get the internal and external break. It's kind of confusing me. That's why I'm trying to, what's it called?
You looking at buys at the moment?
Yes, I'm looking at buys at the moment, but I'm getting confused of where on M1, where our internal break is, where our external break is on M1.
Sure. Should we break this down together? Should we do it?
Yes, we can. Yes, that's even the zone I'm looking at buying to.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, you know the principle here, right? Obviously, you recognize the trend here is bullish, right? Because this structure point got wiped out. This is obviously internal to whatever the hell is going on here, clearly, right? We got some external structure here. Yeah, guys, I've just been practicing structure all weekend long. Because the thing is, guys, if you don't have a grasp of structure, there's no way you can intraday trade because you just don't know when things shift from bullish to bearish. As simplistic as that thing is, on lower time frames is much harder because you've got to flick through it and work out which time frame is presenting the external and internal. Is that making sense? And to basically practice it, all you have to do is, you don't even have to trade the pairs. Pick a pair you don't normally do. And that GCAD structure breakdown, guys, it took me like bloody 2 hours to do on a Saturday, right? It's very complex. USD JPY took like 3 hours because it's just so confusing and mixed, like what the hell was going on? Yeah, but you got to do it. And if you can do it on a higher time frame, you can do it on a lower time frame subconsciously. It'll be a more fluid process, right? So structurally, first of all, even go weekly back. So what's going on here? So you got some sort of external structure over here, where then you got internal weekly structure over here. And so this is trying to go up to this leg here to eventually maybe shift over here. Maybe that's the idea, but I haven't really done it properly. But at the moment, you're playing between these external landmarks here because you had previous bearish structure right here. Everyone see this? Yeah. Everyone see that? Yeah. So the higher time frame market shifted from here to what, bearish to bullish. Agreed? Yeah. Yes. We just made a daily higher high and higher low, and guess what? It's come back into its appropriate level because and sometimes the bases, guys, by the way, are much neater. Sometimes they're more difficult, right? So you got a base here, and then you came into deep demand, last sell to buy, which break that block. Perfect. So that was the reaction. Now what is price trying to do? Price is trying to go and shift that high. So everything internal over here, its purpose is to do what? Go and make a daily higher high. So let's write that down. Daily higher high. We're trying to make, right? And you can put a little.
That was my thought process too.
Yeah, exactly. So if I can do it, if you can do it, everyone else should be able to arrive at pretty much the same conclusions, right? Because structure shouldn't be subjective, by the way. Yeah, you can misread it, and that's fine. Yeah, like I misread it on GJ. I initially thought it was a buy, then I shifted bearish, but it shifted internally here, and we'll talk about this in a second. But that's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes, but your gross understanding of the market should be there. It shouldn't be like, oh, by the way, because I don't understand it, let me just throw my hands in the air. No, you just go away and work at it. Yeah. So then there was some internal trend here, which shifted bullish here, wasn't it? Yeah. You had a, let me go slightly lower. Yeah. So you had a bearish market here. Can everyone see this? Yeah. Yeah. So you had a bearish market here. So let's label this in red as well. So I'll label the last couple of points here. And so you see on the USD JPY, I kind of when there were what I'm trying to say is when the internal and the external structure points mix, you mark it as 2 points, because this point over here represents what? An internal lower low, but it represents a higher time frame what? External landmark, doesn't it? Can you see that? Yeah. Then you got a higher high over here. And then you got a higher low over here. And it's obviously come into that. Perfect. So obviously to make this landmark, we had to have bearish internal. And guess what happened? when the market.
Yeah. What do you know? They're looking for someone. Yeah.
That person is
Okay. Now we need to be careful here. The reason why we need to be careful and notice the details is because look what's happened here. So if you look at actually structure here on the higher time frame, where was the last structure point here? It was right here, wasn't it? Agreed? Yeah. Now everything here is internal. The main impulse you're playing in is which? It's right here, isn't it? Yeah. This is the impulse you're playing in currently. Yeah. But however, this is bullish over here. So we need to watch here if this zone holds, because you've just had what, a run of liquidity, haven't you? Yeah, to some area here. Can everyone see this? Yeah. So price may very well be coming all the way down here to clean all this mess out and mitigate here again. Yeah. You guys follow me so far?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, looks good.
Am I reading that right? Sometimes structure guys get so confusing, but yeah, so over here it made a higher low, which meant we are back from this bearish into bullish. So then this broke here, I think. Yeah, this broke here. So we had continuation, we had higher. So we're playing between this higher high and high. Okay, maybe that is. So maybe that was a continuation, like now that we think about it. So you got a higher high. So we're playing between these external landmarks here. We're trying to see if this is the next higher low. You guys see the same or not? Because this was the downtrend here, right? We made a new high here, higher low. So we're ignoring this now because that bearish pressure has been wiped out. I know there's structure here, but this is the external mark, which then got wiped out here. So then this, all of this was internal to that high over here, right? All of this is internal noise. So let me not label this as external structure. Maybe that will not confuse it. So, and you guys see this? So all of this on the higher time frame was external, wasn't it? Yeah. Then we shifted here again once we took liquidity and we've come in here. But this could be a lower high over here and then take all of this out. It all depends, but that's the external landmark here at the moment, which tells us we're in which market currently. That's still being respected, isn't it? Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
If that gets broken, we're no longer bullish. We're gonna go bearish.
Yeah,
we got to see what's happening in the zone. So we got to look at, and again, we're starting on the daily. So you can do this. The daily zone is here, isn't it? It's not the last sell to buy zone, which led to a BOS. It's not that one here, is it? It's actually this one here. Everyone see this? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the one we got to refine, and this might take some. So 16 hours, not really seeing any refinements on that zone. Let me change this color, maybe. So red. See it better. I don't see any kind of refinements there. Okay, it's the same candle. This is where sometimes I have a hard time seeing what's going on, but nothing can be done there. Let's go 8 hour. Do you know which time frame your zone was refined? So yeah, okay. So the last sell zone is now there. It's come down slightly. It's that candle here. Yeah, it's this zone here. Let's go 4 hour. So the 4 hour last zone again is this one here. It gets smaller now. It's probably targeting somewhere here in this FU candle, but is that the POI you had, the FU candle? Or not? So yeah, so see, again, the last sell to buy zone is here because this broke some internal structure here. So this is the last selling for the BOSing, if that's the word. So over here, again, it's not, it could be this, but it's not. The last sell to buy zone is that. Can everyone see why? Because again, this is the BOS, higher high, higher low, led to that external push. Can everyone see that?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. In real time, when you do this by yourself, it's hard. It's hard because the thing is you're not talking.
Yes, I did exactly this, but my issue now is just the entry. Just
1 hour is, I mean, yeah, it's a 12 pip stop loss. you don't have to refine this to the nth degree. And you know, internally, you had some mitigation here. And so you had an imbalance here. So within your major zone, you've got a minor zone of imbalance and IFC, possibly, or interaction, right? That's where it's going to come. So then you go lower time frame. And remember, for our POIs, what we just went through this. What's the process? Somebody want to walk me through it? What's the first thing you have to label as prices hitting it? First thing you want to notice here, yeah, there's liquidity building it. I wouldn't be looking for buys just yet, because also, you know, and haven't done the refinement on the POI much lower, but there might be a zone. I mean, there's FU candles lower, but at the moment it looks like, I mean, where's your base? So your base is here, okay? So actually, where are we in terms of supply and demand dynamics right now?
So we are still coming down.
Yeah, so exactly. So we're still in the, see where we are. And this is what I mean. You have to fight. You did your process on the higher time frame POI. Yeah, amazing, because the flip zone is there, right? Agreed? Yeah, that's the flip zone for the higher time frame. Agreed? Yeah. Flip zone for a higher time frame, right? And you follow the liquidity rule, so that's great. And then you found the last sell to buy zone over here, sorry, sell to buy zone. So that's great. Your higher time frame POI calibration is correct. But the problem here is now the rules are not being followed when you go into the lower time frame. So what has to happen before you can when price is hitting your POI, we have to have liquidity being filled into your POI. Is that being done? Yes. I mean, price is cleaned, equal lows, trend line, Asia low there, Asia low there. I mean, all these Asia lows, right? Yeah, Asia low, right? Into that POI. However, the final thing that's not being fulfilled over here currently, everything else looks great, but you haven't refined that level to the point where, you know, look, can you see this? What's over here, by the way? You can see this. Just scroll left. On this level here, you got resistance, resistance, support, support, support. Is this level ever going to hold? Is this level ever going to hold price? Write yes on my screen if it will, or no on my screen if it won't, guys. You can tag it. Is this level going to hold?
That's a flip zone. So you look for the order block below it.
Yeah. And by the way, don't just look at the POI. Guys, if you're confused on how you understand the flip zone, look how much support, like, people are looking at this level and going, this level is crazy. Look what this level did to this price action here. Are they not thinking that? This level is actually so crazy, bro. That's what they're saying to everyone. They're phoning their best friends up. Yeah, they're phoning the best. This level is gonna make me money. Yeah, all right. It gave you a 20 pip move, but it's not going to give you the main move, right? So you have to find, now what that means now is the actual POI is below here. So what that means is you need to refine, you need to refine that POI further, is what it's telling you. Is that making sense, guys, or not? Yeah. So this one has been mitigated, but I might take this as a whole complex and try and refine both zones and see. But my eyes are already magnetized to this FU candle here. Yeah. Do you guys know the reason why it's magnetized to the FU candle? Yeah. Let's have a look. Do you know the reason why you look at that FU candle? Also because it's going to have the order block there. But look, the reason why we go into the wick, and that will be the refinement zone of that POI, because look what's happening here. Can anyone see this phenomenon that's occurring? Let me go slightly back here. On that time frame, I think it was much cleaner. Let's go back to M10. This is where you have to take care, guys. So can you see here? There's equal lows here, isn't it? Right? So if there's equal lows into an FU, the only zone that you need to be concerned with in terms of refinement is going to be that FU candle right there. Can everyone see it?
Yep.
So have we not just wiped out the POI problem? The POI is only going to be refined in that zone, or that zone there. Yeah. And look what's sitting here. You got an IFC, but again, this is M10, still too big. Yeah. in 5, 3. Okay, look what we see. Last sell to buy zone, we on it. There we go. And within that, you've got an IFC. So that's your POI. So I'm not saying execute the entry here. The price isn't, we haven't got to that part of our process yet, right? All we've done now is refine higher time frame POI, and then we refine the lower time frame POI by virtue of that. And at the moment, what's price doing? Inducing at the flip zone. Isn't that grand? Yeah. Yeah, but because of that higher time frame liquidation here, you need to follow the entry protocol here. And so we've refined our POI into what? Stop loss. It's like a 2-pip stop loss, isn't it? Yeah. And again, guys, was I making this up? That thing we found on M1, was it not around 50? Was it not around roughly 50%? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. It was around 50%, wasn't it? Agree? Yeah. Is that making sense to everyone, guys? And by the way, guys, I mean, normally if you were on the team before, guys, you wouldn't know this. I hated doing breakdowns on pairs I haven't broken down before, but I'm feeling better about it because this weekend I've just done a shit ton of work around structure, right? And that's where the whole thing starts. If you don't know structurally where you are, you can't go into higher time frame POI because you don't know if you should be buying the damn thing or you should be selling the damn thing. Agreed? Yeah. Then once you get to the structural problem solved, okay, we've made structural higher highs and higher time frame wise, we're bullish as well. So we're looking for continuation plays on USD CHF. So probably it's a good area to look for a buy. Does it fulfill a higher time frame criteria?